What's good, people? This your boy Molly Music right here, and you know I got soul. Let's get it.
Want to start out talking about your origins as an artist. I know back in, I think it was 2006, you formed your own production company, eventually went on to be a part of forming an independent label. Can you tell us, take us through that story?
Yeah, well, it was awesome, and I believe one of the reasons that it was as successful as it was because it happened organically. It wasn't anything that we were like, yo, we want to start a company before we got a product. We always had like a huge, well, God bless me to have a lot of great songs, and I have a huge following on MySpace at the time. Only like over 18,000 devout, followers and listeners of the music that I was putting out, and it was affecting everybody in our like little region. So I showed it to my mom, and she became my initially my booking manager. Then she became my full-time manager, and Molly Music Note Productions was my production company, still is my production company. Soundwalk Music Group was birthed, which is my production company, merged with my mom and dad's business and the capital. Right. And great things happened. It was me, artist by the name of E Hall, my sister Keisha Pollard, and we're doing some major things. And the Second Coming was the initial release, and it just took off. Right. That's how we're here today. And Molly it's going to be dropping in March. It's the second, so this is my second step. Right. So I mean, imagine fifth and sixth. I'm hoping it goes far.
How were you able to make that such a success, building from the ground up organically?
I think it was because the heart of it was always touching the listener. So I don't think that you can really fail with the product that really has the heart of the consumer in mind. You know what I mean? So I'm just as much of a listener as I am a sharer, a consumer as I am a giver. So I know what we like. I know how it feels to enjoy music. I know the thoughtfulness that it feels lyrically, melodically, and I think that everybody can really just relate to the level that I'm communicating with them on, and it causes them to feel respected, right. Not overshadowed by some type of famous act that makes them feel small.
Right. And a few years after your initial project, The Second Coming, you were able to catch Akon's attention, linked up with him for a little bit, even though it didn't work out. How did that whole thing come together?
Well, the whole thing was really good, and I feel that it did work out.
Okay.
I went over to, my dad got a job offer in California, and we went there. I did a showcase called the Merge Conference in Los Angeles, which is Robbie Reed and Holly Carter's conference together. They do it every year. I did the showcase there, and I won it. The next year, I think Kelly G and Omar were doing a BT Music Matters stage at that. I won that, and that's how I got connected with Music Matters. After winning Music Matters in New York, or doing the Music Matters showcase in New York, I did the BT Awards. And I did a song that wasn't on any album. It just was. It was just for that moment, yeah. And it was from that I got Akon's connection, or what did you say? Attention. Right. And he was just taken aback by it, and he really wanted to get to know me, and we just began to build a relationship. So whatever was going on with the label initially, that might not have worked out, but he is on my team as a co-manager. Cool. And as a manager, and he always is opening doors and making a lot of things very, very easy for me using this pull, and I respect that. We definitely love each other, and he'll do anything for me, and me him.
Cool. And currently you're signed with RCA by Storm Records. How did that deal come about?
Man, number one, I love my situation. Yeah. It's doing really good. I love the progress that I'm making. It might not be at the speed that I was used to being an independent and having as much control as I had as an independent, but Mark Pitts and RCA, the whole team, they really just took it to another level and causing me to become one of the elite artists that is up and coming. That came about. We had Akon, and we were working and we were grinding, and I think it just hit me that in the place that I was, as far as a gospel act or a mainstream Christian head, as far as like my music goes, there was a glass ceiling that I couldn't go beyond. And not only did I want to impute peace and cause people to see positivity and be enlightened, I also wanted to be the best to do it, have an opportunity to join the legends in the Hall of Fame of music, and Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, and Molly Music somewhere included in that list. But the fact that that might not have been possible or probable if I wore a cross around my neck, you know what I mean? If my message did not change and I wanted to get a mass appeal and be able to go beyond that so I can get a chance to see where I measured up against the greats, because I don't think I wanted to go to the grave without, you know, my music really getting a real shot, you know what I mean? So with the things that Mark was doing over here at By Storm with Miguel and J. Cole, and the developmental touches that he had on like Usher and Chris Brown, all that stuff like that, it just really was a good match. Miss Holly Carter felt it was a good link. We linked at a table, we had a meeting, and I just really liked him. He felt like a father, you know, like a big unc that will always, like, you know, hold me down, and he also respected my music. It was a stretch for him initially, just like the things he was bringing was a stretch for me, and the fact that what we have now is a beautiful, like, common ground, I think that's what makes it go far.
Very cool. So I was reading, you know, coming from a gospel background, I was reading that you'll be bringing love and spirituality to this R&B genre. So far, how has your music been received by R&B fans that you've touched?
It's out of this world.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about it is everybody can already tell that it's different.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know, like any dish with a hint of lime. And you're like, whoa, you know, you can really feel it pop, especially if you know how it originally tastes. So I've been able to do a couple of shows with Raheem Devon on the Love Land tour, and it's been really good. The reception from like audiences where 80% of the people don't know who I am, 90% don't know who I am, and nobody who leaves out of the door after the set doesn't know what it is about. And the fact that even though it is strange, on the first listen or at the first strike, they get it. Like, oh man, this is special. You know what I mean? Dude, you keep doing what you're doing, man. You're going to the top. That really makes you feel good and keeps you inspired, and let you know not only did you, you know, it's not only what I wanted, but I wanted what was for me as well. Nice. And that feels good.
Nice. Now, I've heard your music described as food for the soul.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about, you know, your sound and what people can expect to hear?
Yeah, well, the sound it's extremely eclectic. Like, you never know how I'm gonna come. Like, there's things ranging from, you know, like boom cat, you know what I mean? You got your 808, you know, I'm spitting 16s right after singing melodic, you know, hooks.
Yeah.
I got full-fledged reggae on there from like Jerry Wonder, straight gospel feeling stuff with Hold On, piano ballads with Johnny and Donna. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain the sound sonically, but I also know that when you hear every song, you get it and you feel the same feeling, you know. And it also allows me to be able to remain myself, be as eclectic and genuine and expressive as I am. And I love the fact that people pardon, you know, I mean, maybe the lack of consistency in genre for the consistency in content, you know, soul and passion.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you introduce us to the Molly Is EP that you're releasing?
Yes, the Molly Is EP is awesome. I felt it was extremely necessary, especially for the transition that was going to take place from my last album, The Second Coming, and this album. So it's not the dropping off of anybody, but the sampler is like a bridge to help everybody transition to this land that we all going to party on in March. You know what I mean? So the album's going to be dropping there, and the sampler consists of 5 songs from the album. I'm going to try to list them. No Fun Alone, which is awesome. D-Mal did that. Fight For You, Heavy Love, Ready Aim, and what's the other one?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, bro. Yeah. And Beautiful is actually doing really good. Like, everybody really loves that feel. And it's awesome to see that and feel that, because I wrote that song with people in mind. So for them to know and feel something inside of them, knowing that it was for them, and now I have only 37,000 hits or impressions on SoundCloud, is just awesome.
Nice. So
yeah, it's really good, and I feel it sets the tone. And if we can release those 5 early, imagine what is on the album. That's all I'm trying to say. I have a great feeling about this album, and I think it has the potential to be an instant classic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to being a singer, you're also a songwriter and a producer. Have you had a chance to work with other artists on their projects?
Yeah. I'm actually tweeting or texting back and forth with Jennifer Hudson. I was able to do multiple songs with her. We were able to develop a very strong friendship, and she's very awesome. You know, I love her gift and her ability, and she also appreciates and respects mine, and mine is mine. So Jennifer has been a blessing. Akon has been a blessing. I was able to write and do some songs with him. One of the songs I produced and wrote, called New Life, is actually on his new album that's going to be dropping the Stadium, and we just got finished recording the video shooting the
Okay.
video for it. So you know that's really good. A lot of love from Miguel, and you know, and a lot of just respect across the board. I think that the writing is going to come on a totally different level once everybody hears what I'm dishing out,
Right.
you know, and understanding where I'm coming from, and I'm going to be prepared for it.
Right. Cool. And then just finally, who have you had a chance to work with on your own project? You mentioned Jerry Wonder before. I mean, what other people?
Jerry was a breath of fresh air. Jerry, Wanda, and D Mild were the only producers that actually got songs on the album. I produced 100% of my last album. So in Savannah, Georgia, there were no studios nearby or musical mentors. There were no musical fathers. So if I wanted piano, I had to learn how to play it. If I wanted to record myself, I had to know how to do it. So I kind of became a one-man band. But I'm grateful for the sensitivity of those guys to be able to massage it, as I was able to relinquish some things too, so we could make music that I never would have been able to make alone. So musically, and I was also able to link with Salam Remy, who I absolutely love, man. We're gonna be doing a lot. We're probably gonna like keep hashing some stuff out. So yeah, like I was able to link with a lot of people. It wasn't really in the vision or in the, I didn't want a major feature on this album or any features at all, because I didn't want to introduce myself with anyone. I didn't want to ride or come in on someone else's coattail or anything like that, because I feel it could have tainted the possibility and probability of how timeless this album can be. And I wanted to be introduced by myself, because if it was a success, then they understand it, they understand where I'm coming from, and then I can link with all of my colleagues, because the audience will know what I'm bringing, what's me and what's not me, and also everybody else can know what I like to do, how I like for it to sound, and then any ideas that they have, they can invite me on, oh, let's call Molly for this or whatever like that. So I think the features are fun. And a great opportunity to continue to spread a brand, but I don't feel that it's necessary when you're establishing a brand.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I really want to build this thing slow and methodically. It's not anything I want a grand opening and a grand closing in the same day, you know. So we're taking our time, and I'm believing that this thing can really go far.
Great. So that's all we have for you. Anything you want to add?
No, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity, for the the chance and the blessings and the giftings to be able to sing songs, write songs, and create music that everybody loves.